Hello, 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 all. Welcome back to our GDQ Juneteenth celebration, our second and final day, where we still have a bunch of runs lined up for you, a bunch of Black excellence and celebrating Black independence through Black speed. Before we get into a little bit of that, though, let's go through a little bit of GDQ news that y'all should be aware about, especially Summer Games Done Quick being like literally this week, June 26th through July 3rd. Go to gamesdonequick.com for more info, prize submissions, schedule, and etc. Also, Flame Fatales are going to be having its next all-women speedrunning event, Flame Fatales, in late August. You can feel free to type in !FF in Twitch chat for more information, or if you're watching this through pre-recorded content like YouTube, make sure to go to gamesdonequick.com/framefatales for more info. I cannot believe that I'm still here presiding over such great runs, such great people, and I cannot wait to be bringing in the next batch of runners. We're going to be starting off with Drakengard 3 by Cathelios. Please take it away and introduce us to this wonderful game.
Hello. My name is Cathelios. A lot of people call me Cath. Usually I run Drakengard 1, but occasionally I do run Drakengard 3, and I figured why not submit to a really cool celebration. Yeah, I'm still kind of learning a lot about this run, so I brought in two really cool runners to help me out on commentary, so if you guys want to introduce yourselves.
Yeah, so I'm aloyark. I also run this game and other Drakengard games. I also dabble with some other games as well. But yeah, so Kath asked me to be on commentary. I'm excited to help explain the run, what's going on, the nitty-gritty details. And yeah, we have Alice here as well, if you want to introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Alice. I also speedrun mainly Drakengard 3. I like to write guides for this game as well, and I've been playing it for around 2 to 3 years by now. Yeah, that's about me.
Alright, I guess we'll just go ahead and get started. So the category we're running is actually New Game Plus. Basically, what that means is the game has already been cleared out, so we are just going to be going as fast as possible through the A ending. Timer starts as soon as I press yes here, so I'll go ahead and give a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 countdown and get started, and we can describe a little bit more about it. So you guys ready?
I'd say so.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Thank you. So I guess basically the first thing we have to go through is prologue here, which is not actually New Game Plus because you can't use these special outfit or weapons here. So we're basically playing this kind of like New Game.
Yeah.
Thankfully we have a New Game runner here, so smiles.
Yeah. I do speedrun New Game. There are some big difference between New Game and New Game Plus. One of the most important difference are the stamina and the option to use more weapons. Normally, if we play a New Game, we won't be able to use other weapons outside of our sword at first. But over the progress of the game, we unlock different weapon types that do different stuff, and they are gonna be useful for some out-of-bounds later on the run that we cannot do on New Game because we don't have this accessible for us. But that's not a problem on New Game Plus because they are all available from the start except in Prologue because this is like a set time, so you can't really use your New Game Plus gear at the moment. And there you can see Cathelios used a power called Intoner mode, where Zero goes all pink and she screams. This is another very important thing about New Game Plus, because we use this power as a teleport, and we are able to reach really far distance in just a couple seconds thanks to it, and we have it all the time on New Game Plus, and this doesn't happen on New Game.
So yeah,
New
we
Game
have
has a
our
lot. Or New Game Plus, I mean, sorry.
so we have our first kind of boss fight here. This is the sisters. Basically, the plot of the game is we are playing as a character named Zero, and she is on a quest to kill all of her sisters. Why that is not something that we really see in A ending, but as you play the game, the mystery is kind of solved and figured out. But we are going fast, so we're not going to be watching cutscenes, so this is basically all you're going to see of them.
Yeah, pretty much.
Basically, the goal here is to get them to about half so that we skip some dialogue and they teleport away. But for right now, this is basically an on-rails section until they all finish talking.
Yeah, there is a threshold that you wanna get so they can get away. It's like a mix between like an auto-scroller, but also you need to get this threshold before that ends, and you can speed it up that way. This part can be pretty difficult because they are all together, and something that is very common is that if you dash, they dash away, so you gotta be very careful.
Laura's kind
But
of
other
trolling
than
me
that,
here.
yeah, all these characters are named based on numbers. So yeah, 4 will
Okay, I think
be
I got him.
the green one.
So
The green
because I
one's
did
really
that,
annoying.
because I did that before the right after 5 stopped talking, she is the yellow one. I got to skip a long dialogue section with 1 who didn't come down and fight, but she's the one who summoned this really big dragon demon thing. So much like this one, the sisters, this is also kind of an auto scroller until in that you have to sit through this dialogue, but you can actually end this part of the fight faster than you would think casually by reaching a damage threshold. Usually it's framed as this unstoppable enemy that you have to just kind of fight against for like a minute or so, but you can actually end the fight kind of early.
Yeah, if you do enough damage. There's something interesting about that enemy. Do you wanna talk about it, Alo?
Oh yeah, so you can actually hit Gabriel, the name of the enemy. You can hit him right as he like goes up, and then he'll get stuck and won't do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah,
sounds
that's
like
really
Drakengard
nice
3.
for like damage. But it's
There's also
good luck.
Well, yeah, it's very difficult. I did it once and I was very impressed by it. There's another thing about that that helps us on the run.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah.
So at the very beginning of that section, you'll see that like there's this purple thing that like locks on to Gabriel, and that is very important for many places in the run because it actually fixes something that doesn't work properly unless you go through that section of the game. It's remember just a second ago we were actually talking about the teleport with Intoner mode, and it actually makes it so your lock-on works different, and that affects how teleports work quite a bit.
Yeah.
And it also affects like Chakram as well, which is one of the weapons we will be getting later on.
Oh, don't worry, we'll see Chakram. So yeah,
Yeah.
basically what happened in the story here, because it is a Drakengard game, I figure we can just give a little bit of a recap, because that's why you play Drakengard, is for the story. Basically, our dragon died. We have a flower in our eye now, don't worry too much about it. And now we have a baby dragon who is the reincarnation of our old dragon. His name is Mikhail, but we will just be calling him Baby, because that's what I call him. Anyway, this is the walking simulator part of the game, so we can't go any faster than this.
Yeah,
until
we
reach a
actually
trigger.
speed this up by using the camera. You can see right now Kat is doing she's getting close to the walls, and you might be asking why. It's because the camera actually has collision in this game, meaning that you can push yourself to make this part go by faster. Otherwise, you still have to wait a little for the dialogue right here. But as soon as you get to the place where you need to reach, you can just wait and until the cutscene starts, like right now.
So this is the first part where I can fall through the floor. So I'm gonna need to concentrate a little bit if you want to explain what exactly I'm doing here with the weapons here.
Alright, so Kath did a glitch called Weapon Swap Glitch. Basically, you intoner with one weapon selected before you intoner, and then you oh my god, that was
that was good.
That's so scary.
Yeah, I pressed the wrong button there. Don't worry, it's fine. It worked out.
It's fine.
It's fine. It's according to plan.
Oh, that's intense.
Basically, she swapped from spear to sword, and that's why you saw her swap to spear right before she did her intoner mode. Because when you switch from spear to sword, there's a timing for it, but it's basically like when Zero reaches her arm up, you kind of switch to the other weapon that you want. In this case, we want the sword, so that she can do those attacks in the air that give her a bunch of height. And then there's another thing, if you weapon swap, it lets you attack again. So we use that to get a bunch of height and get over the walls and get out of bounds like she just did.
Yeah. Okay, we have... Okay. Yeah, so we got through our first scary skip.
Yeah. So, why are they scary, you might ask? There's one thing with this game. In some other games, you might void out after a while. Especially those who run Nier Automata will know that. It's another game from the Drakengard series, since I see some people talking about it. This is not the case for this game. In this game, if you fall, most of the time you won't get a void out, and you need to leave the level, the verse, as we call it in the Drakengard games, and repeat it. So they are very scary. You usually want to just take your time, especially if you are like just starting running or something. I would recommend to be very careful. Yeah, because they can be very scary. All of this, it's really hard. Even if it doesn't look like it, sometimes some stuff it's really hard.
Scary. Don't worry about it. I'm fine. I'm a gamer.
Okay.
But yeah, there are parts where it looks like there are ground. The textures are lying. There's no ground sometimes. So really, everything that's happening right now, it's super hard.
This is how the game is intended to be played, by the way. This is how you defeat Gygases. Don't worry too much about it. It's completely fine. It's normal. It's yeah, we're just don't worry about it. We're not even going to talk about it. That's how normal that was.
Oh yeah. Anyways.
So yeah, this game is broken. I guess we could just say it that way. This game is extremely broken. It was made by a company that actually makes a lot of shovelware games. They are bankrupt now, unfortunately. Because of that, there are a lot of very strange choices they made as far as game design goes. And a lot of that is that the maps, they don't properly load in or load out.
Oh yeah, this one has a very strange choice.
Oh yeah, this one is...
Yeah, we will see this one. Don't worry.
I actually have an idea to why this one it's a little weird, but there are other things that just have no excuse. It's like, why is that there?
It's okay. They gave us a little don't come over here sign.
Oh yeah.
So that's how we know that we're not supposed to be here. Anyway, it's fine. We're just gonna ignore that. So yeah, this entire thing is solid ground.
Yeah.
You never come back here.
I will explain later at the end of this level, because so far we have been skipping pretty much the entire level right now. On the first one, we skipped like many cutscenes and loading screens and other things. And the same we did before, and now there are some battles that are required to progress that we should skip them. Right now we are gonna see another mode of the game, which is playing as Mikhail or Dragon. Baby. I feel like the reason why water has so much collision in all these levels is because you are supposed to play as Mikhail and that stops him from going underwater. But there's also like an entire level load in another part of this map, so
there is a huge level, just like we actually went like walking on the solid ground to see how far we could go, and you can basically go in like 5 minutes in either direction. Like, it makes no sense.
Yeah. You can leave the map. You can see the arrow marking your position, just leaving the screen.
It's kind of amazing. But yeah, anyway, Baby can also go sicko mode, if you could see. He has the same Intoner mode that we use to teleport around and kill things really fast. Because we have the red costume on, which gives us unlimited Intoner pretty much, we can basically use it whenever on him as well.
Yeah, as long as we play as Zero at the start, we can start Mikhail's battle with a field Intoner.
Alright, bye 5. That's one sister
that's
did.
all.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Alright. Oh, bye 5. Okay, that's one sister down. 4 more to go.
Literally skips
go.
the entire chapter.
Yeah, so that's all of chapter 1. Is this New Game Plus with max unlocks? Yes.
Yes. So, as I said before, basically New Game Plus gives us all the weapons we want, and most importantly as well, a lot of stamina. A bunch of the tricks won't be possible with less stamina, or they will be really hard, because with stamina we can do things like reaching far distance with bracers, for example. But yeah, and later on it will be important as well when we have to use Mikhail for certain battles.
Yeah. So we're going after 4 now. She's the green one. We aren't going to talk too much about 5. It's what she would have wanted, so it's fine.
Yeah, I don't think we are going to talk much about them.
But we're going after the green one now, and that's really all you need to know. So we're going to come up and do another skip. This one, so the skips from now on are a little less scary than the ones that we just had, because there's backups for the most part.
Yeah.
And just for marathon safety, I'm not doing like the 2 scariest skips.
Yeah, so one thing to note, this is one of those levels where you can fall in certain places, not in all of them, but in certain places you can fall and get void out. So it's a pretty comfy skip to learn. But yeah, right now...
Oh, you can see a door.
This is
We're gonna be skipping that.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, there it is.
So, the doors in this game are something special. We haven't actually seen one yet.
Yeah, we haven't seen any doors yet. Don't worry, we have plenty of time to see some doors.
Yeah, we'll see them for many minutes.
Many minutes. I think that most of our time in this game is spent staring at doors.
Oh, absolutely.
I would love to see like a loadless timer for this game, but like exclusively with the doors, not the menu, just like the doors.
The worst part is the doors don't even load anything.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's so true.
Let's hope so.
if you actually push a
Sometimes they
button
do.
while the door is like doing its thing, which you will see a lot of, like we've said. It says
this
now
is-
loading, but it's not. It's lying to you.
Yeah, it says loading, but as you can see, we really don't actually need to load through the doors to get anywhere. I mean, the enemies were already loaded in and everything, so
Yeah.
the doors are 100% just there to like. I actually don't know why they're there, to be completely honest, other than that they felt like they needed doors.
You know, they had these really nice looking effects and they wanted to use it.
Yeah, there's like this. There's my favorite doors in this game are the forest doors, which we will see, and I think that we can do like a door tier list. Just because we're gonna be staring at the doors a lot.
A door that crashes like a maze.
Yeah, the door that
I
crashes.
love that
like a maze.
comment. Thank you.
We didn't see the ocean door, so unfortunately we are going to have to give that a 0. But the mountain doors are pretty nice, and we're actually going to have to see a couple of them, unfortunately. But yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, right now, on the previous verse, you probably saw the Cerberus just standing there. So normally what will happen on that verse, it will be that you go forward, do some battles, and then this Cerberus will spawn. We will fight them until the half of their HP, and then they will escape. But at the end of the verse, they will come back with half their HP. Not back, sorry. But yeah. And what's happened when they escape is that the Cerberus just spawns at the end with full HP and without their AI. So we can just hit them.
Oh,
All right, here's our door.
A door.
No,
my
Yeah,
God.
this is a pretty good looking door. I think that I would give this one like a 5. It has a nice little animation.
Look at
Anyway,
that door.
yeah, look at that
that's pretty cool,
door.
honestly. Won't you want to like stare at it every time you play this game?
Yeah, it's
I
a
think
really
it's game
nice
for the
door.
Are we striking our targets? Checking
Anyway, I would love to see chat's opinions on the doors we're going to be seeing.
Oh yeah, rate
So if
the
chat has
door.
any thoughts on our door on the doors that we're seeing here, that would be great.
Pick your favorite. You can see this thing, like this blue aura with a dragon icon. These things usually means that your dragon can help you. And why I mean usually, because in New
Another
Game
good
we
door.
mostly New Game Plus, sorry.
Yeah,
Um,
that's a really beautiful
God.
door.
It makes you sit for
Door.
so long after it's open too.
No.
But yeah, these things means that our dragon can help us in battle. They can be pretty useful on New Game, but for New Game Plus we have so much damage that we don't really use it. So yeah, we just pick it at the end of the battle, because if you don't, then they will trigger a cutscene. It's like a small cutscene that shows us that Mikhail is leaving. So we don't see that if we activate at the end, and Mikhail just won't appear.
Anyway, we have
Sometimes
another.
we don't have them.
We have kind of another door here, but this is one that just triggers a cutscene, so we have to sit there. What I'm doing here is a type of movement called spear dashing. It gives you carpal tunnel.
Yeah.
Is the best way I can describe it. And basically,
It's-
it is weapon swap glitching sword to spear.
Yeah. So the reason why it works, do you wanna explain it, Ala?
Okay, so basically what it does is when you are in this specific state with the sword to spear, it makes it so you can have infinite stamina. And when you have infinite stamina, you can do heavy attacks infinitely. So you cancel your heavy attack with a dash, and then you just keep chaining that because dashing is fast movement. And the reason why it actually is very intense is because the faster you mash it, the faster you go.
Yeah,
there is a cap, but yeah.
Yeah, anytime I play Dot 3, I run Dot 3, I do try to give my wrist a break for a little bit because spear dashing hurts. It is pretty rough, and there is new movement now that is less bad for your hands. But for marathon safety, I'm just doing the strats that I'm more familiar with, which is spear dashing. There was a level that was basically exclusively spear dashing until people discovered teleports in it. So when we get there, I will very gladly thank Alice and Aloe and I believe, was it Rod? Yeah, who discovered a way to not have to spear dash for 20 years.
Yeah, that level can be really exhausting, but we were thinking, and the process was, man, I really don't want to spear dash in here anymore. So we started to try different teleports until we found some really good ones, and now our hands can rest in that level.
You'll notice there that we had a door that had a long loading screen just so that we can walk through to the next level.
It's very important, you know?
That
We're on
door
a 5
actually
door.
does load something. It loads the trigger. That's it.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay.
That's
Yeah, we
literally
tried.
it.
Actually, that is a 4 out of 5 door because it does load something.
Yeah. But if the trigger was there, we won't be able to skip this, but it's not.
It's not there when the door is like not opening or whatever.
We have another map kind of thing with Mikhail. Unlike on the other Drakengard games, in this one we have more control of the dragons, meaning we can move better around the areas. And we have more attacks, which lead us to some really interesting things later on with some bosses when, for example, an enemy might be armored. And maybe our attacks don't do enough damage, but we have other set of attacks that will be way more useful against them. And also they are very good to be able to position ourselves at the right height that we
How
want.
about this? Mikhail only has 3 voice lines in these sections, just so you know. You will hear them a lot.
His baby.
He's baby. He hasn't thought up cool lines yet. Oh my gosh, how are you still alive, buddy? Dot 1 doesn't hurt your hands, that is correct.
Just your heart.
Dot 1 just hurts your soul.
They put me through this shit, and now they're gonna pay.
But yeah, there are some things with dialogue as well. They are very much still, we are still experimenting a little with them, trying to check what they do. We have some ideas. Those that are familiar with Portal runs know that the dialogues come in like packets to explain it easily. So later on we can see that we can skip some 1 minute of wait by cropping a dialogue. So yeah, we do have some dialogue skip in this game.
Yeah.
Fortunately, because some of them are pretty long.
Yeah, and isn't there one that's like 3 minutes long or something like that?
I'm pretty sure
pretty
that's
long.
Octas. Yeah, the one we skip on Forest.
I remember it being like my first run of this game, not getting that skip, and you literally just sit there doing nothing for like...
Yeah, that's pretty much Octas then.
So yeah,
Maybe we should have ridden on Mikhail after all.
we are
But
still
yeah.
chasing after 4. You will notice this level's a lot longer. There's another door.
Yeah. Basically right now, one of the reasons the movement that we do it's faster, it's because we hold or jump and dash heavy. And that
He'd probably miss.
we get some momentum from the dash with the heavy, and we want to jump higher so we can extend the animation as much as we can, because otherwise it will be very short and you won't really get that much. It will be almost the same as just jump and dashing, which is not fast. But doing it this way, we can get some little amount of speed that is very helpful at the end, because walking can be pretty slow sometimes. There are other movements as well, but as Kat says, those are a little more advanced and need some precise timing. There are some
Grace.
that are really advanced.
Oh no, Grace got timed out. Drakengard people are memers, and I'm sorry about that. But yeah.
That last section that Kath was in, I just want to point out, it can be incredibly obnoxious.
Oh yeah.
But everything was pretty nice, so that is nice
Yeah.
to see.
Yeah, it went really good. Sometimes they just decide to not be nice, and the thing is, there are these enemies called spirits. This is like the intro to them. Basically what they do is they get inside the enemies and buff them. They give them a really high defense and attack buff. So the only way to take them off is by a big impact, a parry, or Intoner mode.
They're incredibly annoying, and we will see them more, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Also, thank you guys for all the good luck in chat.
Fun fact about that level as well. There's one cutscene in there that we don't skip it on New Game Plus, but you can skip it on New Game. The reason why we don't skip it on New Game Plus is because it loses us time, because we have to go offline a little. But in New Game, there's a chest that contains gold that we do grab, so we can still get in line and skip it.
Alright, this is the last, scary skip that we're gonna attempt.
Smell like a dead bear's ass.
So everybody pray for me. This is what I was practicing right up until the last second here.
You'll do fine, I believe.
Zero screaming here is a reference to Dawn 1, where Angelus, the red dragon, has a base boost when you use her magic. That's canon, I'm pretty sure. Don't take my word for it.
It can also
But,
be a reference to the last ground level.
Yeah, it's just how I feel emotionally running Drakengard 1.
You're a sick puppy, aren't you?
But yeah, here you can see more spirits, but thanks to Intoner mode, we can just kill them easily.
Oh, here's another door. This one is probably my least favorite door in the game, honestly. Very annoying. Takes a long time to load.
Yeah.
And it gets in the way. Because you have to
it's
go
very in the
around
way.
it.
Oh yeah. Is it really named Mount whatever? We like to pretend it is, but
Mount
that's zero
Bernstein, I
opinion.
Mount
believe.
Bernstein of the Weiss Norden. I actually have no idea why I remembered that. It's the only thing that stuck. Everything else is gone.
Mount
but
Bernstein.
I remember
of
that.
The,
There you go.
Let me guess. It's something stupid, right?
Auto lock on. So you saw that Kath
yeah.
went towards the platform, but the enemies below her actually were locked onto by Zero. Even though she didn't go that way with her attack, it decided that, hey, you want to face this direction even though you don't. You really don't.
yeah, you might have noticed earlier when I missed the jump. I went out of my way to kill these soldiers. Oh my god.
Oh, that was scary. You're
I don't
fine,
know why I
though.
did that. Okay.
So one of the reasons why Cat took a defense potion, it's because the archers in this level can be really annoying.
There we
And
go.
as you
Let's
can know,
go.
oh, there you go.
I did it!
You did it.
You've got
Yeah, that's a scary skip.
Yeah, it is. So there are a lot of really precise jumps that you have to do on this skip in particular, like jump into very thin grounds or rocks. And usually there are two archers in there that keeps firing at you, and when they fire at you, they knock you down a little and also move your position. So with defense buff, what we can do is that we don't receive anything of that. We will receive some less damage, but not knockdown or like our position won't be affected because Zero also has a root motion. No. You can explain.
She
it
does
better.
not have root motion.
Okay, yeah.
It's not based on animation, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, you don't actually need the defense buff there, but for marathon safety, so that the lovely audience isn't going to be staring. It wasn't going to stare at me for 5 minutes trying to make that jump while archers are knocking me down. I decided to just use the defense buff just to be safe. The good news is, even if I had failed that, I just would have had to do the room that we were trying to skip, which isn't the end of the world, but it is a little embarrassing. So I am glad that I got that. It's a little bit of a shame thing. You just land back in the room, and all the soldiers are kind of watching you go back and hit the trigger that you were trying to skip for 5 minutes. So.
I see some question about how tight is the goal for new game. It's not as tight. The reason is because we do have some chests and stuff that bring us a lot of gold. It does become tight if you plan to use HP potions. Those will consume a lot of your money, so gold-wise, it's not tight, but it can be a really difficult run. Not in the best way, because some of the skips are there, but we have to do some other waiting, and there's a lot more of RNG factors regarding enemies. So yeah, gold is the least of your problems on new game. But if you miss a chest or something, then it can become a problem. So it's all about memorizing the positions of them.
Also, sorry to interrupt, this is an auto-scroller and a pretty long one, so if there's any announcements or whatever the hosts want to make, now is a great time to do it. Because we're kind of just sitting here for a while.
That really means something coming from you.
But yeah, usually you can actually just kind of let Mikhail lie in the corner and twiddle your thumbs and take your bathroom breaks. But I'm actually trying a thing that Alice found a bit ago, which is some dialogue skips, and we'll see if it works out.
Yeah, usually this used to be wait, and you can on New Game Plus you can just stay here and do nothing, and on New Game regarding gold, again, you actually want to get all of this. You want to get perfect on all the waves because it means more money. But yeah, right now there is some dialogue skips and face skips that we do with Intoner mode. So the reason why we want to kill all these wyverns is so we can get our cage filled and ready to kill, to destroy the cannons easily later on. I see a question if that includes Sister DLC or no. Sister DLC are their own category. There has been some talk about adding a category for all sisters together. But yeah.
I don't think anything's been confirmed on that yet. New Game Plus is definitely the category that people run for this game, but it'd be awesome to see some more new game runners as well. or just runners in general. This is a really fun speedrun.
Yeah, I always recommend New Game Plus. So even if I am a new game runner,
World record holder even smiles.
yeah, I highly recommend New Game Plus because it's a hard speedrun. It's one of those things where you can't really learn by repetition. Because some things like serious movement can be a little tricky sometimes. But even so, it's a really fun game to speedrun, in my opinion. A new game can take that away sometimes because of a lot of RNG factors that are not in your control.
Also, a lot of the hard things, you can just choose not to do them right away. Like you could just not do a skip if it's like too hard and just practice it on the side while you're still doing runs or something like that. There's no shame in that.
Yeah, I'm not going to be doing 2 of the 4 skips because they are very easy to flub, and yeah.
Yeah, the next 2 skips will happen on forest, and they are very difficult. I would not recommend to start with them if you are planning to run this game. Yeah, right now we are going to forest battle. This is her summon. So yeah, there you go, you did it.
Ooh, frame drops.
Oh yeah, this part can be really heavy on your frame drops, on your frames. The basic idea is to destroy these cores, and once they are destroyed, she won't lose this protection, this
I did
barrier.
it too early, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. This is definitely something that I would recommend to go because even if you mess it up a little, you can still refile your Intoner mode on this section right now. And again, if you fail it, you don't lose that much time. You just do it the normal way.
Not one runner unable to aim in Dod 3.
It's hard.
Coming at you live, sponsored by Drakengard, not sponsored. Oh yeah,
Hashtag not sponsored.
yeah. So back when Drakengard 1 was coming out, WWE Backlash sponsored it for some reason. Or I don't know.
Yeah.
They just kind of did it, and now sponsored by Drakengard is kind of a meme. All right, bye 4. She dead.
There she goes. We're not gonna talk more about her. So now we are heading out to forest. So yeah, this part, even if we are not gonna see the skip right now, it has some differences at the start. There are different ways to do it. Even at the end, this is probably one of the skips with the most change of this game. We just keep finding stuff all the time, and none of them makes it easier. It's really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna take the scenic route from now
At least
on.
the scenic route is comfy.
The scenic route is nice and comfy. You
We're
can't
here to
fall
be
through
comfy.
Yeah, you can't fall through the floor on the scenic route unless you can. Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me with this game.
If you can, we haven't found it.
Maybe today will be the day. I don't know.
I hope not.
I never underestimate Drakengard 3.
But yeah, right now the spines can be.
There you go.
Oh yeah. as I was saying, these spines can do stuff like that. Which
Alright, we're gonna
reminds
be
me.
pacifist right now.
Damn it. What the hell?
Blocked in.
Also,
Oh,
this is
yeah.
another really good door, by the way.
This is
Just want to throw that out there.
getting on my nerves.
In this game, there are no clips. All we do is jumping over the walls or the whatever.
Lady Zero. These foes are
But we haven't found a single clip yet. The only time we think the game clipped was probably because the hardware didn't load in time. Because it's such a big problem with this game with the FPS and stuff sometimes.
Yeah.
But other than that, this game we haven't found a clip. So if you found one, please tell us because that's just strange.
Ooh, where am I?
Lock
Oh
on in
yeah,
this
you
game.
might notice that we have men with us now. We had nobody, and now we have like 2 men with us. They're our party members. They're just kind of here. They're not super helpful, but they will just kind of follow us around and
Not helpful at all.
Oh
yeah. They literally do 0 damage. They cannot kill enemies. Well, they don't do 0 damage, but they cannot kill enemies. Like at all. So, you know.
Yeah, I always like to tell this test I did. So I was curious if they were actually able to kill an enemy. So I just turned on my PS3 and let the game there running with an enemy on literal 1 HP. And I just left my PS3 there for like 30 minutes, probably more. Spoiler, they did not kill the enemy. So yeah. If you want to expect anything from them, it's probably them throwing the enemy away from you, but not helping you. They think they are helping, but they are not.
I believe once I actually got pushed off of the rock for the Mount Whatever skip by Dito, so he did do that.
Oh yeah,
Or-
they
Oh,
can do. They can sometimes hit enemies and like actually mess you up. So that's wonderful as well.
They're
That's
really
rare, though.
helpful. Yeah, so we're gonna go. Our baby has been kidnapped again. You'll notice, so unlike Drakengard 1 and 2, you don't really get free flight on the dragon in this game. And that is because our baby dragon just gets kidnapped constantly, story-wise. Gameplay-wise, I'm 99% sure it's because the game company was like, we don't want to program free dragonflight, and honestly, seeing how the game turned out, I can't really blame them for that.
To be honest, there is like some sort of free flight on some of the shmup. I personally find it more attractive this way since there's like a little more of gameplay. Mixing the dragon with Zero, like the teleports and stuff like that.
You mean you don't like just pressing square in Dawn 1? Can't believe you'd say that. It's such blasphemy.
I'm so sorry.
Can't believe you'd say that with the Dawn 1 runner standing right here.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, anyway, another door. Oh, bye, deck.
Oh. See, the disciples are
helping.
there to help you smile, you know? But yeah,
This is actually where the other skip is, right here. So this section that Kath is doing, she would just be pretty much going around.
Yeah.
But it's hard and scary, so
Yeah,
I understand.
yeah. But yeah, for the skip, we basically skip all of these. You can still get out of this room in here. But even so, yeah. All the other jumps are very hard and you need some to grab some triggers as well. So if you forget one of them, the next area won't load and you will fall and restart. So you want to be very careful of the triggers you grab.
Yeah, I'm also noticing I've been having some frame drops recently, and because this part of the game especially is a little crashy sometimes, so we're just playing it really safe for marathon reasons.
Oh yeah. This is probably the area with the most annoying spirits. They can be really annoying.
Here, dude.
Again, for those who missed it, they have a lot of iframes.
Oh, they have like multiple seconds of iframes. It's not even like, oh yeah, they have like a second. Sometimes they'll have upwards of like 5. It's
Yeah,
very
and
annoying.
It's very random. Also, there's the patented. Oh wait,
Yeah, there
it's
you
this
go.
way. I didn't mess up the door this time. Look, I did
There
it.
you go.
Let's go.
Yeah, Drakengard is definitely a weird series. Like I said, I usually speedrun Drakengard too. But that's not Drakengard 2, Drakengard 1. I need to learn
Yeah.
Drakengard 2.
That's Mash shop, you know. Shoutouts to Mash.
Shoutouts to MASH.
But yeah, this game is very different compared to Drakengard 1, especially speedrun wise.
Yeah, it's an entirely different game. Drakengard 1 is very much a, you just kind of zone out and kill everything on a dragon, and this is you actually have to think, so you know.
But yeah,
Guys, we can wish Happy Father's Day to both Legna and Papa Near and Michael, because he's technically Mikhail's dad in a weird way, you know?
I know about Legna, but I do to Papa Nier.
There are so many questionable dads in Drakengard. We don't just have to thank one of them for Father's Day. So these wolves are extremely annoying because they only spawn if you're not looking at them. So if you see me moving the
Exactly.
camera weird, that's why.
Such a pain in the ass.
Yeah, something we do on purpose is looking at the ground, because they will spawn if you do that, no matter where you are. The spawn is fixed, so you can prepare to go to position, so that's a really good thing. Do you want to explain more about that through the game, Alo? About fixed positions and stuff?
Oh yeah. Most enemies spawn in a specific spot. So like enemy spawns are not RNG, which is very nice. And that is true for bosses as well. I don't think there is a boss that
No, they don't
doesn't spawn in a
at the
fixed position.
same time. Yeah.
But yeah, that's another thing that you can check that's good about not having RNG. So it's less frustrating, I'll say.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons why I do recommend New Game Plus as well, because there's really little RNG on the run. There are some aspects to it, it's not all colors, but it is very nice to have a very little amount of it.
Also, sometimes the camera just likes to float. It just does that sometimes. Don't worry too much about it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
It makes
the
movement
classic.
incredibly annoying.
Yeah, usually after certain cutscenes it does that. Not on all of them, but some do, and it can get really frustrating because you wanna see your character or where you are, but you can't. You can look at your map, but sometimes even with that, it's still kinda hard to know exactly where you are going to take a good line.
Yeah, you can't have a game without a drunk camera.
Yeah, it's
Oh, nice. You got a good dialogue there.
yeah.
This
So
one-
those wolves, yeah, you do have to just kind of look at the floor and then they'll show up. They don't want to just pop. They won't just pop in if you're just waiting for them. So we're just kind of speeding up the process. All right, Decadus. Woo! Frames.
Oh,
What is this?
That was a.
I don't have time for this.
What's the rush? We'll cut him down soon enough.
It's okay. This is fine. It's probably fine.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you'll be fine.
It is extremely hot in my room, I will say, so that's probably not helping matters.
Double gas now. This enemy is very tough. It has a lot of defense, so we like to use an attack buff. This one, unlike defense buff, it's pretty much straightforward. It buffs your damage. There was some looking into the files of the game, just as a fun fact. Do you want to explain that, Alo?
Sure. There are actually gonna be some other potions, such as like a speed potion, but it never got added into the game, so that's unfortunate. We don't have the literal go fast potion.
Yeah,
Unfortunate.
the files have been left out, but they are not actually in the game. What happened was that no knockback or stuns or anything was gonna be its own potion, its own buff, but it got mixed with the defense buff. So we tried to check if the strength potion was also mixed with the speed one, either be attack speed or just movement speed, but it unfortunately didn't, so it's just more damage as far as testing goes.
Yeah. Also, we picked up a third man for our party. Don't worry about him. Oop, I forgot. We also got our final weapon. So each of the men come with their own special, unique weapon.
He sounds kind of messed up.
Holy moly, it would help if I actually pressed the right button. So our last guy, Octa, came with chakrams. Chakrams are incredibly annoying. They are very slow. We only really use them here. I think that there's some tricks you can do with them, but I don't really know if they actually save time.
No, there is something, there is a, sorry, a new game we can use the chakram with weapon swap glitch with a spear, and we can do a spin to win attack that is very useful against bosses.
Hey, you seen what's his
So yeah, it does a lot of damage on a very fast.
No, I couldn't get on the
amount of
cube.
time. It's okay, you'll have more kills.
Oh man, I was stand on the queue.
I get experience for that.
Such boxes appear to be the
Another thing to add about that. So, like I was saying earlier with the lock-on, when you lock on, like you'll see Kath do it right here. She'll like move the little cursor or whatever to try and lock onto the enemies specifically to hit them. That actually is affected. Like the distance that you can do that is changed by that lock-on all the way in prologue. That was changed.
Three ladies seems like
There we go.
a pain in the ass.
Perfect.
We actually have the skip coming up.
Oh, yeah.
I know Alice is eager to talk about it, so I want her to
Yeah,
talk about
I'll let Alice
Yeah.
talk about the skip.
Another thing before I talk about it, I don't know if you say it just now. Sorry, I had to look
No,
away.
you're fine.
Chakram is also affected by your camera speed. So if you have a slow camera speed, the way your chakram moves is also slower. Not your chakram, more so your aim. But yeah, right now we are waiting on the spot. We are waiting for a dialogue to show up. Once Tito says, sounds like your soulmate, we are able to get inside the next room. We will be able to skip a dialogue that says us like a minute and a half. Yeah. there's not
too
much
far.
else to say. The dialogue is very long.
It is extremely long.
And
I'll
it's
give you another
better
fun
to
fact
wait
about
in
Chakram.
there.
Wait, how did I get both of those? What?
Oh, you must have locked onto the back one on accident, I
Oh,
guess.
interesting. Didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, what happened there?
I have no idea what's going on with my lock on right now.
Oh, you got hit by the thing and it
Yeah,
did it.
yeah.
That's what it was. But yeah, another fun fact with Chakram. If you are doing a certain type of movement, we actually call it cool movement. You can extend the length that you do it at the end with Chakram. You can do it with all of the other weapons if you weapon swap at the end with them, but Chakram extends it the most, actually, because it has the longest animation to swap to.
Yeah.
Are you done?
About these kills, they have an order. They don't just... They will stay closed until you kill another kill, but it has a specific order. It's not random.
Yeah.
What a drain.
I actually made a small guide about it, but usually we have a pattern that we should follow, and that's about it. There are different patterns. But luckily it's not RNG, so it's way comfier to do this level.
Yeah, it's
With a
very
basic
rare
idea.
that there's very little RNG and none of it is like programmed in. A lot of it can be sometimes the game reads inputs a little weird. So like you do notice doing some skips that sometimes inputs might get quote unquote dropped. A lot of that is just because you misinput slightly, but the game is not very forgiving with that. So it does feel a lot like sometimes you're just kind of screwed over.
Yeah,
Which
that's
isn't
what I
fun.
meant with zero movements being a little tricky sometimes, because it might look like you are dropping inputs or the game might be dropping inputs, but there are certain actions that you cannot do on other actions, like staying, for example, when you jump, maybe you want to jump right away, but the game will not buffer that. Instead, it will make you stay there. So you want to give it a little time until you can jump again, and that just comes with practice.
Alright, we're gonna try and do a skip here. So this is doll skip. It is outdated at this point, but for
Yeah, right
safety's
now,
sake, we're just gonna do it.
right now it's mostly a backup. There's another skip called Fox Skip, found by Wisheng.
That's not really something to
That
brag about.
what it does is you skip the trigger for everything of this, the fog that will teleport you back if you mess it up, and you can just walk to the entrance. But this is the previous version, doll skip. With this one, the intended idea for this verse was to get into a doll, kill some enemies, and then the doll will change and show you the real path that you can follow and not get teleported back to the entrance. But turns out the path is always there, so you don't need the help from the dolls, and the trigger, it's at the end as well, so you can just walk around that path if you memorize it and then go straight to the end.
Yeah.
So right now it only works as a backup if you mess up the other one. But yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, the nice thing is, even if you screw up, it does have a little bit of wiggle room that I discovered earlier this week. As in, you can fail so hard that somehow you still end up in the right spot. So it's not as strict as we thought it was, but that being said, it's still good to memorize the actual path.
Yeah, usually what happens with stuff like that is that you get lost and you are barely there on the path of the mist, like going out of line. So you can still get there as long as you don't leave the... As long as you don't touch the fog trigger, basically. So the path is not as strict, but if you don't follow the visual clues, then it will be really difficult to find a way back.
Keep your eyes on the ground.
Yes, we don't want to stumble.
So once again, ooh,
Looking at
hello.
that dummy just pisses me off.
That big baby of yours sure does get tied up a lot.
You can actually see that
Alright.
Kath locked on to an enemy behind her, even though the enemies in front of her looked like she should have locked
Where am
onto them. It's because there's actually an invisible wall between the enemies and her, and you cannot lock on even if you can see them. So you have to make sure. And that spot especially is very obnoxious to tell because it's a huge invisible wall. Since it's a
Being a bit
curve.
bullied by the enemies here, it's fine.
I tried super hard or whatever.
Anyway, as we can see, baby got kidnapped again. He's fine, don't worry about it.
But yeah,
Now we
we're
have to kill
close.
99 dudes. So please enjoy Mikhail. Woohoo! Eat this!
If there's anything to say from the host,
Yeah, that was
Oh,
also a good time
Frito.
because we're just hopping around and pressing circle.
Sure. How long do I have
A
precisely?
while. You have a bit.
Hey, well, hey, sure. Let's go over a couple of these GDQ blurbs. And first off, thank you all very much for the amazing run and the really concise commentary. Y'all are an incredible team. So give it up
you.
for
you.
this
Thank you.
team. Make sure to follow these runners at their respective Twitch channels, and we'll get a shout out near the end of the run. But Summer Games Done Quick is definitely June 26th, y'all. Y'all definitely want to go to gamesdonequick.com for more info. We got Flame Fatales, the all-women speedrunning event, coming out with Flame Fatales in late August. You can type in !FF in chat to give everyone information and a link to find out more. And also from now until July 15th, GDQ's revenue from subs, Prime Gaming subscriptions, gift subscriptions, and bits tiered after taxes will be donated by GDQ to Doctors Without Borders. So if you're enjoying this run so far, if you want to give for for charity, we have a whole bunch of emotes for you to use, and for $4.99 over Prime, or a gift if you already are subscribed.
Oh, we still have some
Yeah.
more time if you still have more stuff to say. I know. Don't worry about what's on the screen right now. You know. It's fine.
No worries. No worries. I can keep going on. Games Done Quick Highlights, y'all, is a channel that features highlights of our GDQ HotFix shows. So if you want precisely this moment right here, if you want Drakengard 3 HD waiting room to be featured on Games Done Quick Highlights. Well, after is contagious. I'm sorry. Exclamation mark
I
highlights.
just the screaming babies are really.
Well, hi YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, we stream HotFix content year round whenever we're not doing GDQ stuff. So Monday through Sunday with a whole bunch of afternoon and night blocks for the HotFix rotation. So twitch.tv/gamesdonequick, GDQ.com for even more information.
Wait, how are you
Alright,
still
thank
alive?
you. So I'm gonna explain a little of what's going on. So you saw a cutscene in there. That cutscene is probably the biggest RNG factor on New Game Plus. A new game as well. The reason is because we still haven't found a good way a precise way to skip it, so we think it's just random. We found ways before, but then they ended up being inconsistent, so we decide it's depends of your hardware, but then again, probably a slower one will still get it, and then a fastest one will not. So we just don't know. And that enemy, that boss, it's an armored enemy. We will start to see them more and more now once we play with Mikhail. These enemies are very... they have a high defense towards pretty much any of our attacks, but the fire breathing still does a really decent damage. So we do a combo between a defense buff and a strength buff. With both of those combines, we can keep up the damage consistently without having any knockdown or stun or anything, so we can just focus on dealing damage and Intoner mode when we need it to give a huge amount of damage at once, which usually it can lead up to a strange bug. Hello, do you want to talk about that?
Oh god, I got
think
that
you are the
earlier and
best
I was
one.
like
Oh, you got
so
it
stressed
earlier?
about it. Yeah.
Oh,
It was literally the
Yeah.
entire screen.
so to explain the entire screen, basically, when you do that fight right at the end, like Alice said, if you Intoner to kill the boss, it will actually leave some artifacts from the Intoner on the screen, and it can last a little bit, you know, like the entire verse, or the entire chapter. But usually it goes away if it appears like on this verse, like it goes away after you finish this one. But sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes,
Yeah, for me it usually does not go away until after 2's boss fight. That's
yeah,
why I
that's
was
the
like-
worst one.
And it can cover like the entire screen. It can cover where 0 is. You just can't see. It's like not see-through, and there's no way to get rid of it without loading into another verse.
Yeah.
Come here, bud.
But yeah, here's another part with enemies with a fixed spawn position, so we just wait here with the spear because it does a really good job dealing high amount of damage and stunning the wolves. Wolves
I'm
are,
getting trolled.
as you can see, they are very
Where
fast.
are you, dude?
Look at the top, maybe?
Okay, there
Sometimes
he is.
they bug. And, okay, there it is. It happened to me one time where I accidentally kicked one out of bounds and then it
Oh my
appeared
God.
floating in the air, so they can do that. Yeah, this part is definitely one to be careful because as spirits they have a lot of movement, and if they go underground they have iframes for a very long time until they leave.
Yeah, it's very much what if you wanted to get a good time on this level, but the wolves said no.
think these are your everyday wild world.
Yeah,
Oop.
feels right.
Oh,
They're definitely trained.
They're in my way.
here's the intro for a new type of enemy called Lancer. We are not gonna see them a lot at the moment. We are gonna see them later. They are not a problem for new game players, but they can be really annoying on new game. They are
I see.
very...
Sorry, really quick. I see a misconception in chat. You do not need to play a mobile game to understand the lore of Drakengard 3. It's all with it. There is some new stuff in there, but you do not need it to understand the game at all.
Yeah, I will say if you are interested on the story, play the games, the console games first, and then you with the mobile games like Intoner Alice and Reincarnation, you can get that little extra of info because they have really important stuff anyway. And well, Drakengard Mobile because
Why
even
not?
if it sounds like a joke, it actually exists.
God Mobile is the greatest game in the series, unironically.
Oh, yeah.
The soundtrack is a banger. It has
Oh, for
secrets in it. Like if you hold L1 R1 really hard in the PS2 version of Drakengard 1, your attack gets bigger. Pretty cool.
Good.
I also speedrun that one. So honestly, the only Drakengard game I haven't actually have a speedrun for is 2, and I really need to fix that so I can say I've run all of them, including the mobile game.
We'll be seeing y'all next year, right?
Oh yeah. But with Drakengard mobile specifically.
The true game, you know?
Fortunately, Dawn 2 is a 5-hour speedrun, so
Oh yeah. Yeah, Drakengard 2, there's still not much fun. the gameplay-wise, it's very similar to Drakengard 1 with some improvements. But yeah, although usually the Drakengard games are pretty long, not counting Drakengard Mobile at the moment because that one is very short speedrun-wise.
Yeah, it was only like
But-
20 minutes to do Hundo.
Drakengard 3 is very unique unlike the other games because it has a very different gameplay.
Yeah.
Better be careful, Z.
The rest of the other two are like Dynasty Warrior style.
Pretty much sold their souls to get
And this one is very much a traditional like hack and slash action RPG.
They can sell their assholes for all I care.
Yeah.
We have to kill these skeletons for some reason. I'm not 100% sure why, but they just kind of make you do it.
extreme patience.
And now we're just gonna leave. So kind of pointless, all things considered, but whatever. Up
They
another
wanted you
door
to
that we
see
have
the
to stare at.
chest.
It even zoomed out and zoomed in to look at this door.
Oh yeah, beautiful door as per usual.
This will require
This
that
actually
door?
loads nothing,
Opens
I'm
the
pretty
other
sure.
door.
Oh, okay, very important.
Break them in half.
So you think future near games might be connected to Reincarnation? I actually started playing that game recently and I found some interesting stuff on the story, so I won't recommend it. But you can also just watch it in my opinion. But the game is very pretty. I don't really like the gameplay.
We're pickier than that.
But yeah, story-wise, I give it a really good point. Honestly,
It's a really good
like
story
it.
game.
Shut up before I pull out all your tongues.
If you are into the Drakengard lore, I do recommend playing Near Reincarnation and Intoner Alice. They both have really good stories.
Oh yeah, these are golems, obviously. They are a sick Drakengard 1 reference. Especially with their magic, as they have the same magic as a party member from Dot 1. And that they fling their fists everywhere and like shoot you with it. So it's actually a really cool callback to it.
Yeah, we will see a lot of enemies. There are some enemies that appear even on the near games, the gargoyle cubes, which are the cubes that we saw before on Forest. So the Dragoneer games always have these things since all of them are pretty much connected. You will see certain enemies are the same. Oh, go to the
Shoot.
left side. It's probably easier if you
Oh
want.
my god, dude, okay. That's fine. We take. There we go.
Oh, there you go.
That usually doesn't happen to me, but sure, it happens sometimes. We'll just pretend that didn't happen. It's fine.
Weird shit like this always gets
Just make it
Yeah.
a little spicy for the audience, you know?
This is I feel like this is the most risky teleport because things like that happen. Doing this part without teleport, it's also very risky because you have to do really good jump dashes.
Trust me, it's not
So
Oh my god, knock on.
can actually regrow.
a lot of it is very precise regarding of timing. And the teleport can be risky because of the way it works. Lock-on will lock on to an enemy in your camera position, so if you don't want an enemy to be locked on in your teleport, you have to move your camera away so you don't see that enemy, and then the teleport will go to another enemy that is on your screen. So that way you can kinda manipulate where Zero is gonna go and have a better control over her jumps. But even so, it's very difficult. Definitely a risky jump and teleport.
Yeah, but it looks really cool if you get it first try, which I totally did there. if we could just cut that out of the VOD, that would be pretty cool. Editors.
It's okay, we didn't stop.
Yeah, I'm glad
No, but
everyone
really,
closed their eyes
like-
during that part.
The important thing is it happened because sometimes it's so hard that it just won't work, and yeah. And here we will see more teleports. 3 of them actually.
sunlight seems to have suddenly grown stronger.
That teleport right at the beginning right there, and a lot of the other ones actually, but that one specifically, you need to have the fix, otherwise you will not be able to teleport without getting absurdly close. Like, think of it like, I don't know, you have to go like half the distance of the teleport to actually even start the teleport. And that actually sparked the discovery of finding out why the teleport works in the first place. Like, why can you do it sometimes and why can you not do it sometimes?
Yeah, it turns out there's a glitch with an early level. The one in prologue where you fight Gabriel. For some reason, you can just go there and let your cursor target onto him, and then for some reason that fixes your teleport. Nope, stop.
Yeah, I remember I keep looking at Alo and
Oh my god,
seeing the teleport won't work, and then it will work for me sometimes, and other times it won't, and I was just spamming at his DM, hey, can you do this, can you do that, and we both trying to find the solution, because it seemed there's something with this game where certain stuff it looks like too consistent. It was so inconsistent to the point that it seemed consistent, so we thought there might be a fix, and turns out we were right, and we found it, luckily, and now that makes practice and a lot of other things so much easier, because prologue is not really something we practice a lot, so normally we won't really get that fixed when we are just practicing, unless you just started a run before or something. So it was very nice though that we were able to find that.
Yeah, and one more thing, like, it's like you were in the middle of a run and it's like, all right, I'm gonna try it. I'll just try it. And then it works and it's like, wait, what? Why? It's because
like,
you went through prologue.
It's like, wow, it really rules that this only works during runs sometimes, and it turns out, no, it's just because the game really wants you to play prologue.
Yeah. It's just one of those things where you think it's like, okay, there has to be something hidden in here. But yeah,
this entire part used to be just spear dashing until the teleports were discovered. Yeah, so now we don't have to kill our wrists as much, but as you can see, I did screw up the second teleport a bit by getting my camera rotated weirdly, so I still had the spear dash quite a bit, but you can actually almost teleport across the entire thing now and barely spear dash.
Yeah, the amount of spear dash you're doing here now is very little. Which is nice, because it's really nice that we, on New Game Plus, we kinda removed spear dashing, not entirely, but it used to be used a lot before the auto bounce and some of the biggest escapes. So yeah, it's really nice that right now we don't have to depend of a movement that it's spamming, and we can have a movement that requires more timing than just trying to push the things as fast as you can for very long periods of time.
Yeah, that level was extremely painful casually, because you have to like slowly go around and like stand in the shade to restore your health, and it's very slow. So being able to spear dash across it, especially in New Game Plus, is really good.
Yeah, Cyril definitely voiced the speedrunner opinion. I can guarantee that. That level is really big.
Oh, so now we have to kill 50 dudes.
Yeah, indeed. Spear dashing is still the fastest movement, but since we need to Intoner and other things, it's not. And there is one big thing about it. It's that with one of the newer movements that we use, we have a lot more of movement, whereas spear dashing is very stiff. You can't really change positions. It will always go to the place where 0 is facing. So if you wanna change and go to the right, for example, you gotta stop her and then wait until she repositions herself and go to the right. There's a lot more into it. So at the end of the day, the other movements are a lot more comfortable and they don't require intoner mode.
Alright, I have to count here. I'm bad at counting in my head. So you have to hit these guys 4 times, and then hit them a 5th time to actually do damage to them. 3.
Yeah, do you want to explain a little about this level, Ella?
Yeah, if you could.
This level sucks. I hate it. So basically, like Kat said, you have to... Oh wow, okay, so you saw that she actually hit both of them at the same time with one heavy.
That's really good.
That's
yeah,
really
wow,
good.
they're really
That.
cooperating here. Okay, cool. We take that.
There you go.
They just stood on top of each other.
They were so nice, yeah.
That
They
was
run
the
around and can be
nicest
incredibly
that
obnoxious.
I've ever seen them.
But yeah, you want to hit them at the same time because they become even more obnoxious if you do them one at a time. Because the second one starts doing more attacks, it starts just not getting staggered. But yeah, like Kath did it very well.
Yeah, normally another reason why you want to destroy the armor together it's because they are more prone to get together when they are without their armor. Meaning our fireball will do AoE damage to both of them, as you saw. And if you don't do this, sometimes it happens that one of them might go to one way, the other to another way. They might hide behind a pillar. But this was a really good Gregory fight.
Yeah. Alright, so we're on our last level now. We have our one last sister to kill. So we have another auto-scroller here. We actually have to do some gameplay in this part in order to build Intoner mode. And we have to kill these specters. And if you played the other Drakengard games, these guys might look vaguely familiar because they appear in all 3 of them. Although they do look different, I believe, in Dawn 1 and 2. And by I think, I mean I know, because I just ran Dawn 1 on Wednesday.
Yeah, they are way nicer than on the first game as well.
Yeah, these guys are a pain. I mean, there's not really much to say about them here because they just kind of go down in a couple fireballs, but in Dawn 1 you have to wait for them to throw their scythe. Otherwise you can't do damage to them, and it's incredibly annoying.
Yeah, one reason we don't lock on these enemies, one reason we don't lock on in general with Mikhail attacks, it's because using the fireball manually actually gives us more intoner gauge than when we auto-lock on, sorry. So we really want intoner mode for this fight, so we can activate it and do a bunch of damage at once. Like right now.
Can I have some frames, game? Can I have some frames? Please?
Yeah, this part has some problems regarding FPS sometimes. This part and Force Shmup are probably the ones with the most problems. Fun fact, one of the pre-recorded cutscenes on Force Shmup also has FPS problems, so they just knew it. They just can't fix it.
Yeah, I'm now gaming in the dark to try and cool off my room a little so that hopefully we can have some frames back. But it's fine. That's what Dawn 3 deserves, is gaming in the dark. But yeah, we don't have to do anything here. We just kind of go forward while they talk. We don't have to do any of this. I don't even know if you have to do this part in New Game, do you?
Yes,
you're like
on
at
New
the
Game.
end.
No. Even so, at this part of the game, on new game, you still need money. You're still not at the fullest. You want to do average mod perfectly on new game, meaning you want to kill all of the waves, so you get the max amount of money.
Make sure you buy buffs. I just want to say that.
I did it. I did already.
I just wanted to
Okay,
make
yeah.
sure because I
I
didn't
bet
see.
you so fast you didn't see it. But yes, I did grab
go.
buffs.
But yeah.
Yeah, by the end of the game, it's really important to have buffs because they are very needed for the boss fight. Not because we lack damage or anything, but it's an armored boss, so we definitely want that. Otherwise, they will get really annoying with certain mechanics.
Did the Dragon's Tail get bigger? Yes, because of story stuff. I'm skipping a lot of the story stuff here because I think that Dawn 3 has a really good story and people should play it. It's my personal opinion.
Definitely a game to experience casually. Even speedrun wise, it's very fun, but casually, if you are very interested into the newer games, I highly recommend it. Yeah. Very good story, and even gameplay, I find it very entertaining, personally. Opinion?
Yeah. Oh, I agree. I think that this game has great gameplay. Unfortunately, I missed my spear, so we're just gonna walk up here like chumps.
Yeah, so a new game, right there, that's one of the chests, but before, there's another chest. These two are probably one of the biggest and most important chests on the run because they give a lot of money, which is highly required to get the final weapon we use on the new game speedrun. It's a spear with a very high attack. So if we don't grab it, it's most likely that you will run out of money and you won't be able to get it. So yeah, that's one thing about this level, that luckily we don't have to go so far out of line on New Game Plus because we already have the best spear for the run, which is also the spear with the highest damage. The way it works for weapon swap glitch is not all the weapons work the same. Some have little different effects. So the weapons we have equipped are not equipped just because they are the highest damage, but also it's because they give us the most utility on the run as well.
Yeah. Even if you see the boss and stuff of this route, we're only doing 80%, which means we're doing up to ending A, and there are 4 endings in this game. So definitely experience them all. Including a fun rhythm game at the end.
Now we see this door, but there's an interesting fact about the next door.
Okay, yeah, I forgot that we were rating doors.
Yeah. But this one is my favorite. You can skip it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
This door actually doesn't do anything. We'll let you skip this one.
The chosen door, yeah.
They just saw one, so we are gonna just give them one that you can skip.
That was definitely the chosen door.
Every speedrun's favorite. And we are getting really close to the end.
Yep. You will see. I'm not gonna jinx it. But I'm feeling pretty okay about this run. We can't fall through the floor anymore, at least. So, at least we have that as a... Oop.
Fun fact, the walls in this level are extremely high, like absolutely absurd. You have to fly up for a minute with a trainer tool or whatever, and it's not like you fly up slow or anything. I mean, it's not the fastest thing in the world, but it takes forever to get on that wall, and there is no way you are ever getting up there unless you find something else.
Yeah, this door is just incredibly...
You'll see that.
these walls are just so big. There is escape potential in them, but as of right now, we just cannot find it. If you find a way to clip in here, it will be really incredible and useful. So yeah,
Sponsored by Drakengard.com.
not sponsored.
Not
But
sponsored.
yeah, go there.
Oop, excuse
That's our Discord for the experience, both Drakengard and near experience.
me. Excuse me.
Gotta be kidding.
Oop.
Keep moving.
Yeah, one
Society
thing-
of
Have nowhere left to go.
One thing about the teleports that you see Kath doing, sometimes the lock-on can be kind of obnoxious because
Here's my
it locks-
favorite wall in this level. You just go. Walls aren't real and they can't hurt you.
But yeah, it can be kind of obnoxious and like turn your camera towards the enemy. Like since it's very fixed with the lock-on, which can be nice sometimes. And sometimes it can be very annoying and disorienting when you're trying to go the right way. So it's just hard to deal with sometimes.
Yeah, some teleports can reach really far distance, but they can be really hard to keep them because again, you have your intoner for a certain period of time. Even if we can reactivate it infinitely, quote unquote, we still have some small delay between uses. The only way we can bypass this delay is going inside a cutscene or a different room or something that loads while you are on Intoner, and you will get a full refund because of your the outfit that we use that gives us infinite Intoner. But other than that, there's no other way. You'll still have some time to use it and then it will go out. So you gotta be very careful how you use it. And as you can see, we don't really talk much about it, but using Intoner mode has this animation at the start all the time, so sometimes it is not even the best option to use it because we have found possible teleports in other maps, but they turn out to be slower because they just
So quick to
have
talk
this
about this
animation.
map. Fun fact, if you don't kill those archers, not all the enemies will spawn. Oh my god, I did Intoner again. Not all the enemies will spawn. You actually have to kill the archers behind that wall first before you get
Yeah.
all the dudes. They don't like say that or anything. You just kind of have to figure it out.
Yeah, I figured out that Lancers and Archers are normally used in this game as triggers for spawning more enemies. So when you are in these rooms and you have a high amount of enemies to kill, you probably want to focus on the Archers, not only because they are annoying, but because they are used as triggers. And most normally on side quests, which we don't do on new game any %. You do them on all endings run. Lancers and archers are used a lot to trigger specific enemies or specific rewards, so you always want to be focusing on them as much as you can.
Please, a frame in these trying times.
One thing actually about this section, so you'll see if you look in the top left, the gauge is actually turning blue every once in a while, and that's the little bit of intoner that Kath gets when she kills an enemy. So you actually want to try and kill these enemies as fast as you can so that you can keep staying in intoner for as long as possible. Which in this room she got it, but in the last room you saw that she actually had to intoner again. It's not that big of a deal, but it's nice.
It's nice
Yeah,
to get,
it's
for
really getting a full intoner on the first room and killing all the
pretty
enemies
hard.
with just one. It's really hard. It takes a lot of practice. It looks pretty easy, but it's not. The reason is exactly because of the archers that spawn more enemies. They are between these shield things, so you either gotta jump or hit the shields to kill them, and that takes a lot of your time. You can keep filling Intoner mode as you are in Intoner mode, the more kill chains you do in a fast way. But if you cannot continue that chain, it will get depleted really quick, so that's why it's very difficult.
We're coming up at the end, by the way.
Long spiral staircase goes Burr.
Yeah, the longest staircase of all time. One more bad camera for the road here.
Okay, this is gonna be the last door. Say bye to the door.
Goodbye, door.
No more doors.
Goodbye, door. That's the door percent.
Timer's gonna stop when we hit the last cutscene. The black bars.
Yeah, it's gonna fade to white and it's gonna give us black bars.
Yeah. Gabby.
So right now this enemy is a very armored enemy. Usually what we do is stay on the place and he will go to the left corner. I have never got him to get back, but yeah. Now we need to make some big impact damage, then go to their face, and that's about it for this fight.
I didn't notice that the legs go like that.
Oh yeah?
That's silly.
Oh my god.
And that is time.
GG.
Thank you. 2 minute PB there.
That's a PB. Let's
Oh,
go.
let's go.
Oh, a PB. Let's go. That is so hype.
Oh man.
Congrats on the new PB.
Thank you.
Well, how do you
Sweaty.
feel about that? How do you feel about this game?
I definitely practiced it a lot, so I'm glad that it paid off when it needed to, because I was definitely having some struggles earlier in the week.
You better submit this PB. I'm saying it right now.
Oh, thank you for the GGs, everyone. Juneteenth PB, that's right.
Yeah, it is.
Let's go.
Yeah. So that's Drakengard 3. I don't really know what else to say. We talked about a lot. Yeah.
I was gonna say, well, first off, congratulations, and off of this hype, you want to tell people where to, they can find you at?
Yeah, you can follow me at Cathelios, but also please follow my lovely commentators, aloyark and Intoner Alice.
Thank you.
They also speedrun Drakengard. So yeah, we do a lot of speedrunning, a lot of art, all that good stuff. So
Yeah,
please
big
give
shout
us
outs.
some hype.
Big
Also
shout outs
sponsored
to
by
the community.
Drakengard.com. Sponsored by Drakengard.com
Join our
is the actual
Discord.
Discord link.
Hashtag not sponsored. but
Hashtag not
please come
sponsored
here.
as this cutscene is playing.
If you want to speedrun any of the Drakengard games or just want to come hang out, feel free to join.
Yeah. And thank you guys for putting on this event. It's really cool, and I'm really glad that it's happening now.
Well, it's really, really cool that you're on this platform right now, showing off, a little bit of what you do.
Yeah.
Drakengard 3 was such a spectacle to see. Even if you, skip past the fluff and,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot.
y'all are a treat. Does any of the commentators have any last words or shout outs?
Sisters. Your sister.
Yeah, shout outs to Kat as well for inviting me to commentate for her,
I was a
and as well the community for being so good, really nice people, and Alo as well, which found a lot of skips for this game.
It's made from a dragon.
Play the
Definitely
video game
change.
a little sometimes.
That means it can kill an intoner, right?
Yeah, I'd say the same things. Thanks for Kath, or thanks to Kath for having me. I had fun. Nice talking about stuff. Also, again, the Discord. If you haven't heard it enough, join our Discord. We
Please
want more
come spear on
runners.
the game.
After all this.
But yeah, you should totally play the games casually. Because they're
Yeah,
fun.
they're really
yeah.
good.
The world doesn't.
All right,
Yeah,
thank y'all
thanks,
very much.
Way.
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead,
Oh,
Alice.
just thanks to GDQ as well for inviting us.
Yeah, always nice to show off this game and all of the Drakengard. So
Yeah, hopefully we'll be seeing some more of that mobile game next year.
oh boy,
On the lookout.
You have to submit it now.
oh god, now I actually have to submit.
You
The
can't not
pressure is
now.
on in front of 3K
Yeah,
people. Will there be mobile?
You have to show it.
y'all-
You have to show it.
All have been an incredible treat. Again, that was Drakengard 3 by Cathelios. Be sure to follow her over at the aforementioned Twitch channel. And we've got a whole bunch more Black Speedrun, Black Independence, and Black Excellence with this next block, like the letter M, block. We got a lot of Mission Impossible, and we got Metroid Zero Mission, and a lot of Metroid Dread. So do not miss any of that. We'll be right back with a short break, so be sure to hydrate. We'll see you soon.
I finished off the intoners.